young. We are about as youthful as can be, but probably since I've been here, the most athletic too. So there's a mixture of the excitement of the great athletes, and I think this year's recruiting class is the strongest one we brought in since we've been here. And we have, when you look at jumps and where they're at, I've got 7 kids in the gym right now that are playing above the rim. Athletically, they're dynamic, they're fast, but I think they're also going to make some mistakes and stuff because they are so young. But it's exciting. It's a lot of fun being in here. The ball control's good. We're able to do a lot of really, I think, high-level drills already with young kids. So it's exciting. Yeah. No, actually, Fresno State being up that high surprised me. But other than that, I felt if you look at the list and how it was released, I think all but one player are seniors. Wyoming, Colorado State, San Diego State are completely senior-dominated teams. That's the way I voted for them. After that, it's hit or miss, a few points here or there, but I think we could have been lower too. I mean, we are such an unknown right now that with the changeover and what's happening in our program, we made, besides losing the 3 really good seniors from last year, we also let a couple kids go, and so we've got a lot of changeover to make room for new talent and the things we're doing, and it's working out really well. I think our chemistry is as good as it's ever been, and so it's going to work out well. Well, first of all, I can't really discuss any of that, but as far as the team goes, we've been very upfront about everything. They're mature. They handled it well, just like any other thing. We kind of treat things here like family, and people make mistakes, and we move on. And he's a good person, and I think the right things have happened, and we're moving on. But sure, it hurts not having someone in the gym for a couple weeks, but fortunately NCAA rules allow you to adjust for those things, and we have brought another body in for the next 10 days to help out. That's good, and a strong volleyball person from the community, so we'll be fine.
Is that why Ashley's here?
No, Ashley Ashley Rhodes is our student assistant this year. Ashley's going to graduate in December. So, like Taylor Hadfield was last year, and I don't remember who before that, but Ashley has taken Taylor's position with the team and is working with the team and doing a great job. We're really happy to have her here. Her high level of play and everything, so it's been really good for the young players to experience that and be with her. Well, it's probably going to be done jointly. Jordan Russell is a really strong setter, mechanically and technically, and she has great leadership skills. We need to be getting her on the floor more. And then Hannah Johnson is our redshirt freshman who's been training for a year now. She's done a great job. We had her. She started when we were in Italy, and then when we got back from Italy, she went to China for a couple weeks to play with a U.S. International team and got a lot more time, really good experience. And they're by far our 2 best leaders, so I'm really glad to have them in that role. And I think they'll be, at least early on, sharing that position. Six two. Yeah, in volleyball, teams play different offenses, and what you're asking about is 6-2 is having the setters just set in the back row, so you have 6 hitters and 2 setters. But actually, what we're looking at doing with those 2 is playing a 5-1. We did it 5 years ago with Jade and Sarah Quasagro. Sarah set through the back row and Jade set through the front row because Jade was a much better blocker, as is Hannah's one of our best blockers. And to have a setter that blocks that well, you got to get them in the front row. So that's probably more what we're looking at is that type of a substitution. Hi, Ken. Good to see you.
What do you think about playing a couple games in the pit? You looking forward to it?
Yeah, actually, that's a strange circumstance, as you know. It's not about our venue or their venue. It's pretty much a parking issue, and we being on campus, there isn't as much parking, and then with the Lion King being sold out every night, we just had to look at how we could best facilitate things. And we could have had our event moved it an hour forward, but we would have still been fighting for the parking spots and everything. And so I think this was a really good solution for 3 of the days, was to go to the pit and just get away from all that. We do still have 2 Saturdays that have conflict, and we're just going to start a couple hours earlier to try and get our group in and out as their group's coming in. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be a fun experience. We're really going to promote the New Mexico State match and try and do a whiteout and all that. And I think if we're having a good season, the potential is there to have a big crowd, and that'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I've really had to, what's the word here? I've really had to take a different approach this year, more than any other year, because we are so young, and our whole staff has. We've been much more patient. Okay. We've tried to be much more patient, and it's going to be a growing experience for me because it is such a young group, but there's so much talent in the group that I'm going to have to calm down a little bit and let them get through some of the mistakes that with a veteran team I wouldn't do. And so I think it's going to be, for me, part of the fun is just going to be that learning experience of going back to a young group and bringing them up and enjoying that and trying to enjoy that and not getting caught up in the mistakes that a young group can make, but moving them forward and stuff. They have a great spirit. We have a lot of fun every day, so it's just fun to be in here with them. It may be the group that's been the most fun in terms of everyday practice in the gym since I've been here. Who's turning heads right now? Ashley Kelsey from Hawaii is technically amazing. Her skill set is so high. She's a great passer, she's great on defense, and she's got a gun in the front row. But I think she's going to get fans from her back row play. She makes big time plays, and she's quick. I think the person that's going to kind of take over Ashley Rhodes' role as the go-to is Chantel Riddle. She's spent the summer training with the national team and is just doing some amazing things in here. When we need a kill in here, that's where the ball goes. And we're going to set her in the front row, we're going to set her in the back row. I mean, she's going to get 40, 50 swings every match. So I think people are going to really enjoy seeing her and the things she can do and how much she's improved. Elijah Gonzalez, another freshman from California, doing some really nice things in here. Might be our steadiest player, just solid, consistent. We've kind of compared her to Lisa Meter and in some of our recruiting stuff, and we've seen that already in here with her play as a freshman, and big arm, good backcourt skills, and just a real steady player, kind of like Lisa was. Anything else? Oh. Well, CSU is, it's an interesting time. We're transitioning in the conference to a lot of new teams, but CSU this year is going to be very good. They're going to start probably 5 seniors, 4 or 5 for sure. And if you look at the preseason all-conference, they were all on there. So they're kind of transitioning to their best year as we're transitioning to a young year. So I think we see this as, in terms of the conference, to really move to the top of it as kind of a 2 or 3 year thing, because we only have 1 senior next year and we only have a couple the year after that. So we feel like we're in a good place to really make a move again over the next 2 years back to the top of the conference. And but they're going to be really strong. But I think what I tell people with this group is we're going to win some games we're not supposed to because we're so athletic, and we're probably going to lose a few that we shouldn't because of being so young and maybe just poor coaching. I don't know, but you know what I mean. We have the skill set though to win some big matches this year, and that's really fun at this point to see that, because you don't when you have this many freshmen, you don't know how they're going to be when they get here. Are they going to lay back, or are they going to get in and go after it? And this group is going after it. Sure. We open at home. I think we're playing the same two teams 2 days in a row, and we did that kind of on purpose. I think it allows us to get in there, get things going. Duquesne, though, is a very good team. They're going to be picked to win or get second in the Atlantic 10, and they beat New Mexico State last year. They're a really solid program, so that's going to be a tough match in both of the evening matches, which we wanted. And then we're heading out east, and kind of unknown. One of the things we've been told with RPI and stuff is to schedule teams from conferences that maybe aren't as strong but that are going to win a lot of games, and we picked that up out there, particularly with Maryland Eastern Shore. They're an NCAA tournament team most years. They win a lot of games. We'll get to play them on a neutral floor, and hopefully that's a match we can do well and maybe even pick up a win, and those kinds of what we're being taught about the RPI, those kind of wins are important because you want teams that are winning a lot of games and maybe potentially getting in the tournament as well. That kind of match can help us as much as playing a Stanford or someone else does. So, and then we're back at home, a little stronger tournament. Portland out of the WCC, and Georgia Southern, which again kind of fits the same mold as Maryland Eastern Shore. They're a real good East Coast program in a smaller conference that wins a lot. And then finish up with Santa Barbara that night, which is a perennial power every year. And then we're just kind of slowly building. Then we go to Oklahoma and pick up SMU in Oklahoma and Arkansas Little Rock. But Oklahoma makes again another team that makes postseason every year, and from the Big 12. So we're kind of building up to where our conference starts. I didn't want to just start with a tournament like that with this young group. I kind of wanted to build into it, and I think our schedule really does well for what we want to do this year. So, anything else? Oh yeah, let me tell you a little bit about the alumni game. I think what's exciting about this year's alumni game is we have a whole lot of alumni coming back, and it's exciting. I know there's at least 5 coming back that have been All-Americans here. The one that's been away the longest, I think, is Maria Guerreri is coming back, and she's already been texting us saying, "Oh, we want to get a practice time, and we want to do this and that." And Pauline Manzer was just standing over there talking with me. She's already back. She's going to spend 2 weeks and do some workouts with the team. And for those of you that were around in the spring, I think you were, Ken, but she came back and worked with us for a couple weeks in the spring. Pauline's the national team coach in Australia right now, and also helped us recruit our Lena Skipper, our Australian kid who arrived last week on campus and is doing a great job. But those are 2 of the more notables, but there's a ton of really great players, and I think if the alumni team's going to beat us, this is the year, because they're loaded with talent. Hopefully they'll practice too much and get sore, and we'll have a shot on Saturday night. But it's a really good group with a lot of people that have a lot of tradition here, so we're excited about it.